Hello class, my name is Carl Nelson and this is for PM693. Today I'll be discussing conflict resolution techniques, how they originate, how to mitigate them, and how to spot conflict. First thing I'm going to talk about is conflict resolution techniques. Some of these techniques include going in with an open mind to resolve the conflict, hearing each person's story, their own point of view, then making a rash decision from there. Next is to encourage open communication between both parties so that everybody can find a common ground. Lastly, as a PM, you need to follow up and make sure that the issue has been resolved, dropped, so it doesn't continue to burden the team. Next thing I'm going to talk about is conflict. How does it originate in the project? Conflict can originate in many ways. One of the many ways is scheduling issues. Another one is cultural differences in the group. One person might be offended by a gesture like shaking hands with the wrong hand. Another common one is personality issues, having two narcissistic people on your team. They both feel like they're right or that their way is the best way. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the best method for a project manager to mitigate conflict resolution. Some of the ways to mitigate these conflicts is to educate your team on everybody's background and culture so that no one's accidentally offended. Another thing is to bring everybody together when making the schedule so everybody knows the timelines and everybody signs off on the actual schedule. Lastly is to build your team with personalities in mind ahead of time, not just expertise. That way you can avoid narcissistic personalities bumping heads together. Next thing I'm going to talk about is how a project manager uh, may find out that conflicts actually occurring on the team. As a PM, you need to look for the warning signs. Some of the warning signs include anger, a high turnover rate. Another one is a slowdown in productivity. And lastly, if your meetings are becoming dysfunctional, that's a red flag. The last thing I'm going to discuss is the major causes of conflict and what you can do as a PM to combat this. Conflict are due to project costs and budget costs, so it's very important for you to decide the beginning of the project, the budget, and stick to the budget. The only time you should go over the budget is an unexpected event. Uh, Next is miscommunications or misunderstandings. You need to bring everybody to the table, explain what happened, and then, like we talked about before, having a common ground. Lastly is if you have unrealistic deadlines. That's why it's important that everybody makes the schedule together and voicing the concerns about the timeline right then and there. That way everybody knows that they can meet the deadlines and then you won't have any issues in the future. That concludes my video. I'm looking forward to your feedback. Thank you.